I would assume that with the time that Miguel Cardoso has had with Mamelodi Sundowns, he's already identified weaknesses and the team's strength. And obviously, this is Mamelodi Sundowns. There is a budget probably for the January transfer. Now, I will be identifying these two signings that Miguel Cardoso probably should be signing. But obviously, to get the perspective on why there should be those signings, maybe we should mention some names within the squad that are out injured, others who have not really had a game time, and others who've been vocal about not getting enough time from the previous coaches. I mean, he's only been there probably a month or so, and but obviously there's going to be definitely a player coming into. I've heard nothing from unplayable, from far post, from kickoff. I don't trust Sokala Duma that much, but I haven't really had any player being linked to Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm not sure if the reason is because of the number of signings Mamelodi Sundowns had during the preseason. There's a lot of players came over. Others have impressed, others not so much. I do go by the name of Oscar. Since the football, we engage and discuss on anything to do with football from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. Yeah, man, Sundowns is almost like another hospital ward with the number of players that are out injured. I mean, you look at the likes of, there's a position which I think should be Miguel Cardoso's focus if he has to strengthen or he has to sign someone during this transfer window. That centre-back position. You got someone, I think it's a long-term injury. I don't know when is he coming back. It was not really clarified to us. A Rivaldo Coetzee. Versatile. He can play in a back three, back four, but as a centre back, he can play that role of a libero. He can play as a central defensive midfielder, a quality player, a great asset when you want to build from the back and having a player that will join the midfielders. That is a Rivaldo Coetzee. I don't know when he's coming back, but the injury he had and how he actually left the field, clearly it was a serious one. I think Mangoba did make mention of the fact that it's going to be a long one. But as to when he's coming back, Feb, March, April, we are not sure. And that is one player that has been unlucky with a whole lot of injuries. I believe that Mutobi Mvala's injury is also a serious one. But as to when he's coming back, others were saying that it might be towards the end of the season. We're talking about April, May. That is a Mutobi Mvala. The recent one is a Musa Lebusa. I doubt if it's a serious injury one. But the players I'm mentioning here, Rivaldo is 28. Musa Lebusa is 32. Mutobi Mvala is 30. I think, yeah, he's 30. And then you've got a Rishin Duruk who just came back from a long-term injury. And that's another thing we should really be cautious on. We can't overuse the player, or we might actually risk losing him again to injury. That is a Rishin Duruk. We have a Keegan Johannes that we signed from Supersport, born in the year 2002 or 2000, around there. He's a young player, another versatile player. Can play as a right back, play as a center, right center back. He can also fit into that CDM or play as an 8. He hasn't had a lot of game time as well, but that's one player. At least he can fit in a whole lot of position. I guess that's a profile of a Mamelodi Sundowns player. You can't be playing just one position, because such cases are going to happen where we're gonna have a whole lot of injuries like we do, and we're gonna have suspensions when the big players are needed. So Keegan hasn't had a lot of game time, but I think in the second half of the season he might be getting some minutes. And then you've got a player like Aseko Tiwana, probably is adjusting to the system, and then a Lesibanku who also just came back from a long-term injury. There are players who probably might be loaned out. Zuko Ndunyelo, a right back. Nku might be loaned out, and Tapelo Masego, ever since that AFCON, that hamstring injury, it's been bothering him. He's back now, but also he hasn't had a lot of game time. He's one of our younger players. He should be in the region of 20, 21, 22, around there. And Lodge didn't have a preseason with the team, but he's back training. So we are not sure. But these are some players who've got some fat contracts and long contracts with the club. So the club can't just get rid of them or terminate their contracts just like that, because it's going to be a whole lot of money for the club. Now, let's look at another position which I think might be a position that will be critical for a Miguel Cardoso to maybe strengthen or bring a player to fill. That left back position. Clearly, with the games we've played, Miguel Cardoso has favored Obri Mudiba to play in a more advanced position than a left back. He prefers playing him in as an 8 box-to-box or as a 10, but not as a left back. Previously, Mudiba played a lot in that left back position. We then have I've mentioned Tiwana, we have a Terence Mashiho, who's just terrible. He's not improving. Maybe it's the confidence you need when you get back to the team. And but with the minutes he's had, we can't say a lot of positives about him. One player who's really stood up and raised his hand is a Zimbabwean Divine Lunga. The advantage with the Divine is that he can also fit in that left center back position. But currently, he's playing in that left back position. Now, who do I think Miguel Cardoso should go and actually sign in this January transfer window? It might be impossible, we might get rejected, but I think it's with the shout that I mentioned these two quality players. The very first one is a South African, Bafana International, born 1996, is in the Winelands. He plays for Stellenbosch. I'm talking about Fawaz Basadine. Fawaz Basadine is a quality fullback, a quality left back. He can play in a back three, and but his natural position is that left back position. He's got the engine and he's got some power in that left foot of his. He's got assist every season, and he plays in a back four that is very solid for Steve Barker. Will he fit at a Mamelodi Sundowns? He's played in Gauteng before, playing for Moroka Swallows, a struggling Moroka Swallows, but he was one of those players who stood out in the back line of a Moroka Swallows. Now you look at things such as experience playing in Africa. Stellenbosch is currently playing CAF Confederations Cup, and he is featured for Bafana. So he's got the experience and the mileage playing in the Premiership. So he's aware of playing and the demands clearly that Masandawana or Sundowns will have on him if Mamelodi Sundowns had to sign him. Will Steve Barker sell him? He might. I don't think we've got a bad relationship with the Steve Barker's Mamelodi Sundowns, but maybe put a sweetener in the deal. Maybe throw in a Zugum Dinyelwa or throw in a Terence Mashiho in an exchange for a Fawaz Basadine, like for like, unless Steve Barker is looking for any other player within the Mamelodi Sundowns, so that Mamelodi Sundowns or Miguel Cardoso can get that Fawaz Basadine. If you're talking about Fawaz Basadine, he's one of the top 5 left back in the league. The last player I want to discuss, and actually also is with a shout. Watch some highlights. The last derby in Tunis. Plays for Esperance. Believe it or not, this guy is born in the year 2000. I think everyone noticed the quality of Mohamed Amani Tugai when we played Esperance in that semi-final. He wears a number 15, 1.91, very tall. He is very calm on the ball, especially the second leg and in Loftus. The guy is aware of his surrounding. He's an asset when we have set pieces. He's an asset when we are defending set pieces. The reason it's two defenders that a Miguel Cardoso should go out and sign is because that's one area we've been really poor in. And when we are playing North Africans, which without fail we will meet in CAF Champions League, those guys, they really concentrate on set pieces. If you can't kill a Sundowns on other aspects of the game, ensure that you utilize your corners, your throw-ins, your free kicks. They really go all out when it comes to set pieces. So these are type of players. I mean, if a Basadin defends well, whether in the box, and then your Tugai, he's an Algerian. The good thing about him is good in the air and he's good on his feet, very calm on the ball. And we saw that when he was playing against Mamelodi Sundowns over those 2 legs. And he will not be the first Algerian to come to Sundowns. We've had a left-back Algerian at Mamelodi Sundowns before, so he won't be the first one. And I'm sure he has seen the trend. It has followed the recent history of Mamelodi Sundowns as this ambitious Southern African club. So I would gladly welcome a Fawaz Basadin, gladly welcome a Tugai, because I don't think we have to really go for any other position. I think other positions are okay, but it's where it's the defense that must really strengthen. And I'm hoping that a Portuguese guy will really work on that. It's errors and that he found at Mamelodi Sundowns. I don't think it's really him, and defending set pieces and using set pieces to our advantage when we are playing against these big guns. Let me end it there, and don't forget to like, share and comment on this video. Thank you for the support in the year 2024. Let me end it there by declaring, may my God bless you all.